Let's go find some whales!
And sexy lumberjacks.
Hey there, Man Fam. We are back for our final installment of our 7-day Alaska cruise on the Disney Wonder.
Today we are in Alaska's capital, Juneau, and we're going to be going whale watching.
And tomorrow we're going to Ketchikan to see if I can catch a lumberjack.
If you can catch, you
If
can.
they were in Canada, you could say if I could catch a can, but it's very much Alaska.
Catch question mark I can a lumberjack.
Yep.
You know what? Crushed
That was it right there.
You know
we found it. It took a minute.
Seamless.
But we got it.
Seamless.
Yeah. But for now, we're going to go watch some whales.
Yeah.
To kick off our day today, we ordered room service to the room. Now, this is a service that you can do by filling out a little door hanging form the night before and leaving it out on your door handle. This is not as heavy of a breakfast as if you went to Cabanas or any of the restaurants on the upper deck that offer breakfast, but it's a nice bit of light bites if you're looking to get something quick and make your way out to your excursions. Now, there are a couple of different whale watching excursions you can book. The ones we did was Alaskan Whales and Rainforest Trails, and this one cost $259 per person. This is slated as a 5-hour and 15-minute excursion, and we are headed to group up and head out to Juneau.
Wow, she's... wow. One day on the trail and the girl is dancing through the woods.
Mosquitoes, but we have no poison ivy, no snakes, no spiders that bite, no ticks. It's kind of crazy. So this is one of the only plants we have to worry about, and you'll probably touch and you're like, I'm just kidding. But this is called Devil's Club. So you hear the name Devil and you're probably like, ooh, something's really wrong with it. However, that's not also the case. The only reason it's bad is because it has a bunch of thorns along the branch, along the stem, and even underneath the plant itself. So they're full of these tiny little thorns, and these thorns break at the skin's touch. So when they break at the skin's touch, it's like pulling out a bunch of little splinters. Not a lot of fun. However, more good than bad, this plant, it has a lot of medicinal purposes. You can harvest it and turn it into like an aquaphor or Vaseline type of sap rub. It's really good for arthritis, any cuts, things like that, scrapes. It's really good to put on that, and it's a natural healing method for that. So Clinkets often use this. It's still very much used today to harvest. These trees, when they die and start decomposing, we call them nursing logs. So these nursery logs or nursing logs are a great way for other things to start growing. Moss loves to grow in them. We get a lot of fungus on them as well. Sometimes we even get other trees growing off of them. So moss creates this nice little soil bed for other things to grow. And so when other things start to grow, then we get the big, nice forest here. One of our other plants that grows in the area is called an alder tree. And this really helps make the moss nice and nutritious because alder trees have this relationship with this nitrogen-fixing bacteria called Frankia, where it converts the nitrogen within the air down into the soil of the moss, making it super nutritious for other things to grow. And this is an old growth forest of mostly hemlock trees. And so hemlocks can grow up to 210 feet tall. They're super, super large and quite beautiful trees. So if you get upwards, you get all of the witch's room within that photo. It makes for some really cool photos. Those needles are a lot sharper than the hemlock trees. The hemlock trees, if you give it a nice handshake when it's closer to you at more eye level.
Look at this. Look at this. I found this.
Got a shell.
I found this on the beach. It's a little shell.
That's nice.
I'm gonna name it Sheldon.
Oh, I was thinking Michelle.
Oh, nice. I understand Shelly May.
I was thinking Shelly, like Shelly May.
Her joy.
You're really connecting with Shelly May.
I'm really harnessing her spirit right now, and I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You said she collects shells, I collect shells by the sea.
By the seashore, and you know what? I get why this is her hobby now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wouldn't-
It's
still
not a
wouldn't call it
talent.
though.
It's not a
You
talent.
don't think
Although
finding this shell was
having
a talent?
yeah, well,
I had to
No.
have good eyeballs to pick a good one.
It took all of 5 seconds for you to go, oh, look, I found a shell.
I haven't-
But you know
Yeah,
what? I didn't
yeah.
find a shell.
She's
so I
talented.
shouldn't
That's
be
right.
saying.
That's
She's
right.
talented.
Talent. They're definitely bald eagles.
I think you're Greek left.
There's 2 of them. Whoa. That's crazy. There he is. He's just hanging out. America, such a golden wings, sail on freedom's wind.
Rock right here.
What'd you find?
I like this rock right here.
Why do you like that rock so
It's
much?
really worn by the water.
It's nice
very
and smooth.
Yes, nice and long, boy.
That's a good rock.
Yeah, I like this rock.
Can hang out with my shell.
Oh,
Alan, you gotta find a treasure
I'm gonna
now.
find a nice treasure, Alan. A temporary treasure, Alan. 'cause
Yeah,
we leave only memories.
No, we take only memories and we leave only footprints.
No, we leave.
We leave our
we
memories
leave
here.
All of our
We're
memories
not gonna
behind.
remember
This
anything.
is like a big.
It's like an
Man in
obliviate from
Black.
Harry Potter.
What's the thing called in Harry Potter? with
Obliviate.
No, where you look at
Pensieve.
A pensieve.
This is the biggest pensieve you've ever
Oh,
seen.
sure,
right here.
sure.
Yeah.
I
Just go dunk your head in there.
oh, yep.
You'll get a bunch of memories.
What about this piece of
Oh, Alan found some shale. Yeah, it's
so
nice.
fascinated by it earlier.
It breaks so easily. It just falls apart.
Mine could help me take out a clipper.
I think you might need to save that. We saw some fungus in the forest. Everyone put your treasure in.
Bam.
Our sea treasures. Okay, now everyone put their treasure back. Back.
That's where that one goes.
You're gonna throw yours?
No, why not?
You should try and get it in the water.
Okay, I'll try and get it.
Stop.
Oh, it skipped.
Ooh, can we skip rocks? Goodbye, little shell. I'm gonna put you in the water, but I gotta get closer.
Well, we had a lovely hike through the woods.
Yeah. What did you guys learn?
I learned about the bear's bread fungus.
Well, very hard fungus, almost like
Very
the
hard,
exterior
rock
of
hard.
a Last of Us villainous fungus.
It did look like that. I learned that Freddy Fungus took a liking to Addie Algae, but their marriage ended on the rocks.
A good warning.
And that's how you know what lichen is.
And I enjoyed learning about the nursery trees, which are the large spruce or hemlock trees that have fallen over and have now become host to a whole variety of moss and lichen so that new growth can sprout within the trees.
And now we are on the beach right here. We can see a glacier over there, which is pretty cool. Oh, we saw an eagle. That was cool.
Yeah,
And we're going to get on a boat to go whale watching.
let's go!
These spouts are a mixture of seawater, whale snot, are believed to eat up to 4 to 5 tons of food a day. And their food isn't like big things. They eat some of the smaller critters in the ocean. So they eat a lot of herring up here. Herring, they're fish, they're about, I don't know, 6 to 8 inches long. They need to eat a lot of those to get up to their about 4 or 5 tons.
We've taken a little jaunt out and are just like surrounded by humpback whales now. They're everywhere. And we're on this very cool boat that all the window, like all the sides open up, so it's windows everywhere. And there's just beautiful humpback whales everywhere. Like, it's unbelievable. Look at that one. Look at its tail.
It's kind of like, you know,
I see it. Hello, whale. Oh my god. There's some over there too. Oh my gosh, there's so many. This is so cool. to keep up with how many there are. Hello, beautiful creatures.
That's caused as the tail comes up towards the surface of the water. It displaces water. It's called a footprint. It's basically just like the same mechanics of them welling in a river. All right, you're gonna dive down. Finally.
Yeah. There you go.
They got big necks.
They are chonky boys.
Alright, there y'all go.
Oh my god. There's one swimming over here. They are very loud. Yeah, they're talking. What a big guy right here. He does not want
be bothered.
he does not want any part of their bull. He is so unbothered. Whale, whale, whale.
Wow.
That was a fantastic time.
I want you to know that Molly, before I even turned on this camera, looked at both Max and I and said, I'm going to start this one off.
And aren't you glad I did?
She was ready.
Yeah, wow.
Truly ready.
I had a tale to tell.
Well, that was awesome.
It was
we
incredible.
saw so many whales.
I think our naturalists guesstimated that we were seeing between 12 and 15 whales.
Yeah.
We went to a very active feeding area, got to see quite a few of them. We heard a lot of different names thrown around, but I think the most famous one was Flame, and that is a photo that we have taken with a replica of Flame's tail to scale.
She's a whale that comes humpback here a lot.
God. Back here?
Like she comes back here.
No, I
She's
know
a
what you
humpback
meant.
whale.
Back here.
She humpback here.
We also saw some very silly guys.
Some
We
sea
did. Some
lions.
Very
Sea lions.
aggressive.
loud.
They were starting some stuff with each other. They
But-
were loud boys, but my
But there was
favorite
one.
was the Regal Man
King.
all in the end.
Yeah, they took
King
us to
energy.
this one island that had a lot of sea lions, and then there was just one off to the side not dealing with the nonsense.
Had no time for all that.
It was very, very cool. Was hoping to see an orca, but you only get a 10% shot of an orca. But we got so
many
many
humpbacks.
humpback whales. It was very, very cool.
Yeah.
Juneau is kind of known for whale watching, and I would highly recommend it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and this combined with that forest walk, seeing
Yeah.
those eagles and all of the natural forestry of that temperate rainforest, awesome.
Yeah, and once again, the guides have been fantastic.
They really have.
Now we're headed back to downtown Juneau, where I think we're going to grab a little bite.
Our first stop on our exploration through Juneau, or at least downtown Juneau, is Deckhand Dave's for some wild Alaskan fish tacos, or really any seafood. We were told that there is very, very good seafood to pick up here, and perhaps a local brew.
Now this is just stop one on our eating adventure. So Alan and I are splitting the taco trio, so you get one of each of their fish tacos. Salmon, the fried salmon there, the blackened rockfish, and the beer battered halibut, just for the halibut. Max just made that joke, I just took it. I want to give credit where credit is due.
I also picked up 2 hot sauces that we have seen throughout our travels in Alaska. The Barnacle Foods hot sauce made with kelp.
Also, they have tartar sauce for fish and chips, and it's house made, so I got some for the tacos.
And now I shall squeeze a lime very messily if I can ever get a grip on it. Oh wow, I've made a miss. On all of these tacos. Which one are you gonna get?
I'm going to start with the halibut.
I will start with the blackened rockfish. Cheers.
Oh, God.
Wow. Yeah, that's fresh.
Without a question, the best fish taco I've ever had. Oh my God. The
Holy cow.
batter is so light.
Oh my God.
It's just crispy, and you've got this nice light fish. Crispity slaw. It is, oh my God, it's so flaky. It's falling apart in my hands.
The rockfish
Wow.
itself is blackened. The rub on it is quite spicy, but it's a good spice. It just sort of sits in the back of your throat and reminds you that it's there. But incredibly, like, super fresh. There's no fishy flavor to this like people would expect. Like, oh, I don't like fish because it tastes fishy.
That is crazy.
Not in the slightest. It just tastes very light, flaky, and buttery.
This tartar sauce is nuts too. That's the best tartar sauce I've ever had. It's chonky, it's very dilly. Wow.
Salmon, a little bit darker, meatier, but still somehow buttery. And everything goes so well, counteracted with the slaw and the aioli on top.
We heard from multiple people, including our tour guide just now, that Deckhand Dave's is the place to go if you want fish and chips or tacos, and he was not wrong. Highly recommend. Our next stop was recommended to us by our wonderful tour guide, Chase, who said if you want to sit outside on this beautiful day, go to Grizz Bar, which has a little walk-up bar. You can see Alan at with local beers on tap, as well as a little food truck right here, which Max is grabbing some stuff at. And it truly is a beautiful, beautiful day, which I'm led to understand isn't super common here in Juneau. Apparently it's like rainy and overcast like 270 plus days of the year. So the fact that it's like sunny and 60 is phenomenal. Food and beverages have been acquired. I have the Grizz Bear Lager, which is made by Denali Brewing Company and branded specially for this bar.
And I have the Denali Brown Ale, which is a brown ale made here in Alaska.
And I have the Moose's Tooth, which is from Broken Tooth Brewing, and it's a root beer.
Cheers.
Cheersies.
Cheers.
Oh, that is lovely. That is just, I've said it before, I'll say it again, that's what my grandpa would call a beer that tastes like a beer. Light, crisp, perfect on this warm, nice day.
This brown ale is incredibly light, but it's also like deeply caramelly and nutty. I just love when I look at this, you see how slow the bubbles come up. It's a thicker beer, but it doesn't taste thick. I could throw back a few of these.
Very good root beer. It's a little bit on the sweeter side, but I don't mind that. So, very enjoyable.
What you got to eat there, Max?
Oh, wow. So glad you asked. This is a caribou dog. So you're going to be eating this, I'm sure. This is a 50-50 mixture of caribou meat and pork chops.
Oh!
So we got this right here at the Grizz Bear, and I'm going to be chowing down.
We also got this. It looks incredible.
Now, full disclosure, they had cheese curds on the menu.
Yeah.
When I asked to acquire said cheese curds, they said they were out of cheese curds. They could still give me the loaded tots, but the loaded tots had cheese curds in them.
Wow.
So what would we do? Well, they have replaced the cheese curds with mozzarella sticks.
I'm also noticing that some of the tots appear to be the sweet.
That's true.
So-
They're sweet potato tots.
Classic tot, sweet tater tot, and cheese curd all in one delicious fried medley here.
Let's hit this caribou dog.
Yeah.
You had caribou before?
No, I'm not.
I've had venison.
I don't think I've had caribou yet.
Enjoy.
Cheers.
Hey, cheers.
It's a good tot.
The mozzarella stick.
It's a great sausage. It has that sausage snap to it, a little bit of spice in there, but it definitely has a unique flavor from your normal pork sausage. So you can definitely tell that there's something else in there, but that's delightful.
This tastes like a basket of fried stuff, but it's delicious.
Big fan.
Made it back to the Wonder. We've got a couple hours till it's all aboard, but we're going to get a little ice cream treat. Maybe luxuriate in the rainforest room a little bit before a big evening of entertainment. I just want to highlight that our tour picked us up directly from here earlier, but if you are not doing a tour or you're coming back from a tour later, there's this little shuttle bus right here that comes right from downtown to the Disney Wonder. Otherwise, it's like a 30-minute walk from the main shopping and dining area downtown Juneau.
Hello there. Luxuriation has completed.
And now we are headed to see tonight's show. It's another of the Broadway-style productions in the Walt Disney Theater, Frozen, a musical spectacular. We've never seen this one.
Yeah.
New for everyone.
It'll be very exciting, but as always, there's no filming in the show, so we'll see you after to let you know how it is.
Hey, you want to build a snowman?
What are we gonna do? For the first time in forever, don't get them see.
That was a really cute show.
That was awesome.
Hey, I've got a PSA for you. Try to make it.
Wait.
to your...
Let me help you out.
Yeah.
Don't be a jerk on the ship, PSA.
Oh, yes. Good
Thank
segment.
you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I needed that graphic. Do your best to make it to the show on time, and then while you're in the show, it's only about 65 minutes long. Try to stay in your seat. I understand things happen. It's fine if the rare exception occurs, and you need to get up and get out of your seat for a minute. But when half of the theater decided they needed to go up and down the aisle multiple times while I was trying to watch the Frozen show, I almost tripped people.
It was a lot. It was
so
more than I've ever
many
seen.
people.
And they tell you, to arrive on time. You can't save seats. So try do your best.
And I know that I may sound like I'm just complaining because they blocked multiple minutes of banger show songs, but let me also say I almost saw the Duke of Weselton get taken out because there are literally performers that
That's
use
true.
the aisle in the
That's true.
middle of the show, and a guy just stepped in front of him while he was coming down the steps.
I don't like the Duke either, but don't try and take him out.
Seriously.
It's not our job to enact physical violence upon the Duke of Weaseltown.
Regardless, that show was awesome.
So cute.
It was very, very cute. Like I said, that is one that we've never seen because that's only on this ship, and I think the fantasy. And normally I don't love the single movie shows as much as the montage productions, but that one was great.
I think of the single movie productions that I have seen aboard the ships, this is my favorite. So very, very well done. I think the puppetry was incredible.
Yeah,
I
the
particularly
puppets were really
it was
cute.
so high quality, so well done. I particularly enjoyed Olaf. I think that was
he
very
was
clever the way he was done.
And Spin.
Spin, so cute, and the vocal talent was great. It was
Oh, yes.
It was a really enjoyable show. They cut things out where it needed to be out. It moved quickly, so don't skip Frozen if you have it aboard a Disney cruise. And now we have a little bit of time before our dinner tonight.
Yeah.
So I think we're gonna go test our luck at trivia and see how we do.
Wish us luck.
We got fans.
Got you. How did trivia go, you may ask? This is how it went.
And no, it wasn't Disney trivia. It was 2000s music trivia.
Congratulations.
Oh,
Thank
thank
you.
you. Thank you.
See, we're getting recognized already.
This is amazing. This is amazing. I feel so proud.
Yeah.
I feel so accomplished.
Yeah.
I'm going to wear this for the rest of the night.
We listened to 4 beats of music and named this song and the artist.
20 times.
And then had a dance off for the championship.
Sure.
Yeah,
one
you
of us
sure did.
represented.
Yeah,
Truly.
honestly, you crushed.
All that Darren's dance grooves from
Yeah.
my youth really paid off.
They really picked a song for
Deep
you.
Yeah,
I
it
felt
was
like.
great.
Yeah.
It was great. But now we're headed down the bayou.
We are.
Again, second night in a row.
We are headed to Tiana's place for dinner tonight. Now, this is not actually where our rotational dining had seated us, but once we realized that the bigger production, the Mardi Gras production, was happening on the second time of going to Tiana's, we had Palo that night for Alan's birthday, actually, spoiler alert. And so we asked very kindly if we could actually switch some things around, and they were able to accommodate us. Not a guarantee, but you can always ask, and they'll do their best. So we're headed there now.
And as we re-enter Tiana's place, I'd like to remind you that this is the restaurant that Tiana purchased in the reclaimed sugar mill. Now for our second night at Tiana's place, it was Mardi Gras. So they had features coming from the deep south of Louisiana. For your appetizer, you had things like the boudin sausage fritters and the ahi tuna tartare. You had a variety of soups and salads, including a New Orleans seafood pepper pot and Mama Odie's creamy tomato soup. They had a couple of vegetarian entrees as well as delicious treats like the Cajun spice sea bass and James's roasted pork tenderloin. I don't know if that was delicious or not. And the roasted Creole half chicken. In addition to the vegetarian offerings, they also had lighter note offerings as well.
Tiana,
How's your night going so far?
good.
Everything look good on the menu so far?
What should we get?
Oh, definitely the seafood pepper pot is one of my favorites.
Okay.
It's kind of like my daddy's gumbo, okay?
Alright.
And of course, some of those beignets, right? You're gonna
Yes,
eat
we
those.
had some beignets.
That
Yes.
means we're going to eat that lots of food then tonight, right?
Yes.
No such thing as too much food at my place. Huh?
We love to hear that.
The bread offered at Tiana's on this second night was an herbed brioche with a roasted onion dip. This had to have been the best bread service we had during rotational dining. The brioche was light and fluffy, airy in the center, and the roasted onion dip had that deep onion flavor that complemented the light bread beautifully. Now, Molly and I, following a trend from this cruise, both started out with the same series of appetizers, which was the sauteed Gulf shrimp and grits, as well as the iceberg wedge. The Gulf shrimp and grits were served with andouille sausage, green grilled onions, and a smoked barbecue sauce. I really enjoyed the shrimp here. They were cooked very well and tasted very fresh. The grits were fine. They were not the type of stone mill grits that I am used to, which are a little bit larger in terms of their grain size, but they were still tasty and pretty cheesy and buttery. But the highlight here were the shrimp.
The iceberg wedge was topped with pepper jack cheese, bacon, tomato, basil, and a creamy Thousand Island dressing, and this was delightful. It was a unique twist on a wedge salad that I had not had before, and I really liked the combination of ingredients, big chunks of that pepper jack cheese. I'm honestly going to probably try and remake this at home, and it won't be as good, but I'll at least know that I got the inspiration from Tiana.
Who is this you gonna make it at home?
I could make a salad, Alan.
And to start, I had the boudin sausage fritters. These are minced pork and boudin sausage, breaded and fried, served with a bourbon aioli. And these were delightful. The breading was nice and light, letting the pork and sausage come through strong. And that aioli gave it a perfect contrast of flavors. A lovely start to my meal.
Charlotte LeBouf, if you're listening, you should be embarrassed by this bucatini pasta dish that you have on this menu. It is served with pancetta, oyster mushrooms, eggplant, spinach, peas, basil, and shaved Parmigiano Reggiano cheese. And you might be thinking, wow, that sounds tasty. You'd be wrong. This was incredibly dry. The bucatini had no sauce. Everything served there was perhaps cooked in maybe oil. It was unflavored, I wouldn't know. And it was starving for any salt, pepper, or spice. It is, without a doubt, the single worst thing that I've put in my mouth on a Disney cruise. And I was offended. And if you're from New Orleans, you should be too.
Yeah, big bummer for Alan with the pasta. I was enjoying the Cajun spice sea bass. It was served with shrimp jambalaya and a crisp fennel salad with a remoulade. Again, delicious. This cruise has turned me into a seafood girly. The fish was light, fresh, and the jambalaya actually had a little bit of spice. Some sausage pieces in there, a little bit of a kick, so be warned if you're not a spice person. I also liked the contrast of the crisp fennel. Overall, a delicious dish, highly recommended by our server, and I'm glad I took him up on that recommendation, and yes, I shared with Alan.
And I had the roasted Creole half chicken. This comes with toasted corn, a pecan bread pudding, butter chard, and chicken jus, and it was quite tasty. Chicken was nice and moist. It had the leg as well as some breast, and actually I want to shout out the pecan bread pudding. While the chicken was delightful, this little side dish was also very tasty, and I enjoyed it. Unlike Alan's pasta.
After some dancing with Princess Tiana, Louis, and the rest of the servers, it was time for dessert. Now, as always, there are specialty coffees and cordials if you'd like to imbibe there, as well as a nice Tiana-inspired dessert menu, including, of course, her famous buttermilk beignets, as well as a New Orleans banana Foster sundae and a Southern-style pecan nut tart. I couldn't make up my mind, so why choose? I decided to try both the Mama Odie's white chocolate bread pudding and Tiana's buttermilk beignets. The bread pudding was served with a praline sauce and vanilla ice cream, and while this was very good bread pudding, it had that kind of crisp outer layer, nice soft inner layer, it was incredibly sickly sweet. That praline sauce was very caramelly, basically just sugar. A couple bites were good for me, we all had a few of them, but it was very sickly sweet. The highlight for me, though, the buttermilk beignets, dusted with powdered sugar and served with a chocolate espresso dipping sauce. I will say, I didn't need the dipping sauce, it was a little too rich for my blood.
I also had these buttermilk beignets and will agree with Molly that maybe not needing that dipping sauce. I could have used a little bit more powdered sugar personally, but they are nice and light and fluffy. And these are the same beignets that are available at the French Quarter Lounge, which are available at an additional cost. So if you don't want to pay a little bit extra for those while at the lounge, get them here as your dessert.
For my dessert, I turned to the comfort of my friend the banana, with the New Orleans Bananas Foster Sundae. French vanilla ice cream with rum-flavored caramelized bananas and whipped cream made this up, and it was exactly what I needed. The bananas were cooked very well. They were caramelized, had some nice rum flavor on top of that. All to go with the cold French vanilla ice cream gave this a delightfully rich but not super sweet Sunday dessert.
Well, that was a really fun celebration. I'm glad we did that.
Vibes are high.
I had a Marty great time.
Wow.
We're really on a roll here, aren't we?
We are almost there, though. To the end of the night, I mean.
This overhaul of Tiana's place for Mardi Gras was such a fun celebration and very different than what we experienced only yesterday.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Having done both the Frozen experience on the Disney Wish as well as the Tangled experience on the Disney Magic, this is the best version of that, in my opinion. They got everybody up. They had little instruments for the kids. They gave you beads. You got to get close to Tiana and Louis. Like, it was just a celebration in there, and it was very, very fun.
Yeah.
Blast.
Not to mention the food was pretty good, too.
Mm-hmm.
So, now that we've done all the rotational dining restaurants, what's everyone's favorite?
Well, I am going to have to dig a little bit deeper for my real thoughts, but I'm going to go with Tiana's place.
Tiana's place, hands down.
Yeah, Tiana's place as well. Vibes high. Food, very good. I thought the food was very good, with the exception of one sad pasta dish.
Yeah, for any New Orleans native, you should be offended.
But my food was very good.
Yeah, mine as well.
Beignets were good, so definitely don't skip Mardi Gras night at Tiana's whenever you're on board.
Well, earlier we saw puppets of Elsa and Anna.
We did.
What if now we see equally high-quality puppets?
Apparently there's a ventriloquist on board.
I'm sure it'll be the same.
I feel a way about it.
I've never seen a ventriloquist.
Nor have I.
Not
live.
Not a real one.
Watch this, okay?
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Yeah. You move your mouth.
Okay.
Okay.
I really like ventriloquists. They're great. That's it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can't wait to go see a professional do that. It's hard to believe that wasn't a professional. But we're going to an 18 and up showing of The Ventriloquist, and then we'll see you tomorrow for Sexy Lumberjacks.
To watch some men chop some logs.
You think this is going to be sexy puppets?
Oh, God.
Be like Avenue Q.
Oh, I hope so. It's a fun show.
Is that why it's 18 and up?
Maybe.
Romeo's body, believe it or not, my grandmother from Grand Ridge, Illinois, helped me build this. This part right here between my hands. Sorry. My leg, I know. The part, that's a Clorox bottle. It's a 64-ounce Clorox bottle. We cut the handle off the back. This was my grandmother's idea how to build a Muppet. I want to be a Muppet. I know. Let's just do our thing. Where are we? We're doing the show. We're looking. Wonder. Yep. What's up, girl? All right. Don't do this. It's all you, girl. All right, Romeo. Stop. Can we just do our thing? You meet a beautiful woman in Disney Wonder. You represent. I just told everybody how you were built. Mm-hmm. What do you say? I'm clean, girl. Okay, come on. Have you ever had a job? I work. Name one job you've had everybody here would know. I was a cardiopulmonary resuscitation dummy. Ha 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 ha, lady. Okay. No, she's laughing because you were a CPR. No. Cardiopulmonary resuscitation. Exactly. Excuse us. CPR, cardiopulmonary resuscitation. No! Cardiopulmonary resuscitation. Why are you spelling out each and every syllable? To make you do it without moving your lips. Okay. Because I can't. Okay. Girl, all right, leave her alone, man. Are you a nurse? Do you know the CPR? No? You want to try it out? All right, come on, man.
Hello again. We're in Ketchikan.
Good morning. It's time to catch ? I can a lumberjack.
That is what the name of this city means.
Yeah.
That's the origin, in fact, is that people came here and said, catch I can a lumberjack.
That's right.
Then they had to cut the I can a lumberjack later.
Yeah, to make it a little easier for the signs.
It got a little long.
It got a little lengthy, but we are headed to the Great Alaskan Lumberjack Show, which is world famous. I don't know what's going to happen, but there will be lumberjacks there. We booked this through Disney. It was $49 a person. And we're headed to go check it out.
Yo-ho!
That was
Yo-ho.
great.
That was great.
It's about an hour-long show. They asked you not to video in it, so that's why you have pictures and video from the internet. But it was awesome.
It really was a great time. I enjoyed the competition aspect. I really enjoyed that we got divided into one side being U.S., the other Canada, as we got to see a variety of really fun events and a little bit of history thrown in between.
It felt a little like, it's got that audience cheering of medieval times.
Yeah.
But instead of jousting and fighting with swords, you have climbing logs and chopping them in half.
So on a scale of medieval times to Hatfield and McCoy, where does this rate?
Is medieval times the pinnacle?
Medieval times is current state.
better
current
than
state better.
Oh,
the
where
high,
does it rank in?
And then Hatfield and McCoy is just
the lowest of the low.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, this isn't dinner theater.
Yeah.
So we should call that out. This is just a show. They have a concession.
You can buy a hot dog if you want to.
We didn't.
We did not do that.
I did win a card that was signed by the
You did. The audience interaction was very high.
That's like getting the rose from the night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I like it more than medieval times because it's short. It's like an hour long.
Okay.
It's the events move quick. It's funny. Like there was some good bits.
Yeah.
I think it's like a perfect little touristy, kitschy thing to do in the middle of your day.
Yeah.
So I liked it.
I think this is great because if you're getting off of Ketchikan, you can see this. It feels like a fun little show to see, very unique to the area. And then you've got your whole day still in the port to go around and check out different restaurants and shops. I think it's worth it.
Fully agree. I also love that they do spend some time, like I mentioned before, in between events, actually telling you what these lumberjacks would have done out in the field when they were actually chopping lumber back when this was a profession that was done.
Timber harvesting.
Yeah, back when timber harvesting was done in great volume here.
And so 10 out of 10 recommend the Lumberjack Show. And now, speaking of some food, we're going to grab some local food. Actually, one of the places I had researched is right next door at the Alaska Fish House.
How convenient.
Now, it's no surprise if you're in Alaska, seafood is very, very prevalent, and it's said to be some of the best seafood you will ever have just because of the proximity to fresh fish. So we are eating at the Alaska Fish House right now, which is known for fish and chips, fish tacos. They also have a few non-fish things if you've got folks that don't want to eat fish. They've also got crab, but I'm just excited to eat hopefully some delicious fish and chips and enjoy this beautiful scenery behind us. And once again, Alaska is providing us with just truly horrendous views, horrible weather. It's like 65 and sunny with a beautiful mountainscape in the background. It's horrible.
Everywhere we go, everyone tells us how lucky we are it's not raining. So we are truly blessed.
Hashtag blessed. It's so hideous, the view everywhere here.
It's really wanting a real like gray, rainy, true Alaskan experience. I'm kind of disappointed. Aren't you?
It's just ugh, you know.
Okay, while we wait for our food, I've picked up 2 of the local brews from Denali Brewing. On the right side here, it is the Twister Creek IPA, and on the left is the Golden Ale. Cheers. Whoa.
Ooh.
Wow, that is super hoppy right off the rip. Very like zippy with the hop.
That is
bitter, piney. Ooh.
That's crisp, light, refreshing. One of my favorite things on this cruise so far has been the ability to try so many local craft beers, not only in the different ports, but the ship has them as well, which is very fun and unique for a Disney cruise because normally they have kind of the same things aboard the ships, but it's nice that they bring on local Alaskan breweries. So if you're a beer drinker, I encourage you to try something new. Our food has arrived. I got fish and chips. They actually had 3 different fish you could choose from: cod, halibut, or salmon. I went with the recommendation of the halibut. And then it comes with fries, slaw, and house-made tartare sauce. There's a lot of malt vinegar around here. I'm going to have to put an inappropriate amount on this.
And I picked up the fish and rice bowl. This is with blackened halibut. There was, again, options for other fish. It could have been salmon, blackened or grilled for the rice bowl. So I went with the blackened halibut over a bed of rice. Comes with a side of soy sauce and tartare sauce. Oh, that's so flaky and good.
Oh my God.
That halibut, light, buttery, flaky, cooked perfectly, blackened, so it does have a little bit of spice to it from the blackening seasoning. Nothing overwhelming, but just warms the tongue a little bit. And that teriyaki sauce is perhaps the least sweet teriyaki sauce I've ever had, but that's okay. It's tangy, and it perfectly balances the blackening seasoning. All this over some slaw and a bed of rice. It's so simple, but very tasty. I'm a really big fan of this.
This fish and chips is delicious. It is less greasy than I'm used to with fish and chips, like from Epcot or Wizarding World. You can tell the fish is fresh. It's nice and mild, delicious. And if you're a seafood eater, you should definitely get some fish while you're here because, I mean, it was caught like right there and it's phenomenal. We went to a jewelry store and we bought jewelry made out of mammoth tusks.
Feels appropriate.
Yeah, it was cool. They had a mammoth tusk, but it was like $220,000.
Appraised, yeah.
The problem was too big to get in our luggage.
Yeah, and I don't know how we would get it home.
Yeah, definitely not $220,000. But mammoth jewelry, very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
We have stopped at the Uncharted Alaska Distillery for some drinks.
It's pretty wild. They create a number of spirits here, from vodka to an agave beverage, tequila, and whiskey, as well as gin. So I'm really interested to try this. That is a great variety. What'd you get?
I got the Sled Dog, and it makes me think of Cool Runnings, which I did watch on the TV in our room the other night. It is a rosemary and citrus drink, and I got it with tequila.
And I got the Old Fashioned. Surprise to no one. Cheers. That's really good whiskey.
Ooh, that is light, refreshing. It's beautiful out here. Feels like the vibe of Ketchikan, if you don't have a big excursion booked, is walk around, eat, drink, and shop, which does kind of feel like the vibe at all these places, but it's the first time we're doing it.
That's true. This is the most low-key day at port that we've had since getting on the boat.
Yeah, but this is lovely.
Welcome back on board the Wonder. Now, tonight, before we head to dinner at our regularly scheduled rotational dining at Animator's Palette, we are headed up to Palo, because on the Magic and the Wonder, as a pro tip, you can go to Palo when it opens at 6 p.m. and head to their bar, and if they have a server available, you will be able to order food to the bar at Palo. Now, from what we've heard, that only works on the Magic and the Wonder, but it might be worth at least trying or asking about on the other ships. But this is my view, and I am hoping that we'll change to a little bit of something classier once we are there at the Palo bar. I've been informed that this is indeed a classy dance. So, we ride to Palo for the evening.
Now, while sitting at the Palo bar, we were able to order anything off of the full Palo menu. I should note that dinner is a little bit different than brunch. There is a prefix option, but the majority of choices are a la carte. We've done several Palo dinner reviews and have ordered almost this entire menu throughout our different cruise line videos, so I encourage you to watch those if you'd like to see what some of the different dishes are like. Menu highlights include a variety of salads, like a caprese salad, soups, like a Tuscan white bean soup. Of course, you've got pastas and pizzas, including their famous gnocchi, and more of that iconic Palo pizza. And then you've got your proteins and your main entrees, including a variety of steaks, seafood, chicken, and more. Unsurprisingly, Palo has a great wine list. Make sure to talk to your server and the sommelier about a nice pairing. I went for a lovely glass of Prosecco. Alan went for a glass of red, and it was a great way to start the meal.
A delightful surprise was that they started off our meal with an amuse-bouche. This was a gnocchi served in a mushroom sauce, and it was delightful. The gnocchi itself is that light, fluffy potato cloud pasta that just melts in your mouth, and the mushroom sauce beneath it was lightly earthy, but still very creamy. It was a perfect complement, and quite the bougie way to start your meal.
Decided to start this pre-dinner dinner with one of my favorites, the baby arugula salad, which is arugula tossed in virgin olive oil, white balsamic vinegar, and big shavings of Parmesan Reggiano cheese. This is delicious. It is light. It is earthy. It is fresh. Cannot recommend this one enough as a light way to start your meal. It is just simple deliciousness, which is what I love about Palo.
And to share, we got the prosciutto di Parma basil burrata pizza. And let me tell you, when this thing arrived looking beautiful, I felt the pressure of having to break up that burrata all over this pie and make sure everybody got an even chunk. This pizza was delicious. That burrata cheese was so delightful with that prosciutto across the cheese and crust. Wonderful way to start our dinner portion of the night.
And to round out our meal, they brought us out an aperitif. Now, this was made with lemon sorbet and champagne for Molly and myself, but for Max, they made a virgin version of this, which was lemon sorbet, grenadine, and Sprite. And this was just a nice, light, and refreshing way to end one meal and then immediately go to our next.
Now it was time for our second visit to Animator's Palette, but this time it was the animation experience, which none of us have done, not just Max. This was a first for all three of us, because this is an experience offered on just the longer cruises, and you get to actually bring a character to life around you. The meal starts by handing everyone a placemat, if you will, with certain outlined boxes, and they encourage you to draw a character with a couple rules. Obviously, you can't write anything foul on it. You need to fit it within the lines. And then after a few moments, our papers were taken, and we didn't know what kind of magic was going to happen. But let me tell you, it was worth the wait.
Animator's Palette for night 2 does have a different menu than the first night you visit, with some of the appetizer highlights including the Malaysian chicken satay, a lobster bisque, a white cheddar and broccolini soup, and the regional inspiration of the porcini sacchetti. And entrees including an herb-crusted rack of lamb, a roasted filet of beef Wellington, or regional inspirations like the salmon steak or the chicken schnitzel.
Now for our bread service, we had 6-grain country bread with caramelized onion and sun-dried tomato dip. The bread was very crusty and dense, and the dip had some nice onion flavor, but it was offset by the citrusy richness of the sun-dried tomatoes. It was pretty nice. For my appetizer, I got the Malaysian chicken satay. This is grilled chicken skewers marinated in turmeric, chili, and coriander, served with a peanut sauce and cucumber. This was actually a highlight of my meal during this meal. The chicken was grilled very well. It was moist, not dry at all. Had some nice flavor from that turmeric and coriander. And when dipped in the peanut sauce, it was very rich. And the cucumber sauce on the side added some nice light acidity. I really enjoyed this and would 100% order it again.
For my appetizer, I had the white cheddar and broccolini soup. They come with toasted baguette croutons, and this was delightful. A nice, cheesy flavor with that little hint of the broccolini. I loved this as a starter.
To start, I got the crisp romaine wedge salad, which was topped with feta cheese, Kalamata olives, tomatoes, cucumber, oregano, and a red wine vinegar dressing. This was a perfectly fine salad. It was a little too acidic for me with the red wine vinegar. There was a little too much of it, but I liked the big chunks of feta cheese. Overall, a fine salad. And for my main dish, since I wasn't starving from dinner number 1, I decided to go with a second appetizer, which was the porcini sacchetti pasta. This was pasta filled with porcini mushrooms, Swiss and fontina cheese, garlic, thyme, and a Prosecco wine sauce. Now, this is a regional inspiration, only available on the Alaska cruise, and I was a little nervous that this was going to be better than my black truffle persets, which I love so much. The good news, it was not that good. The bad news, it was not that good. It was a little lackluster in flavor. I wanted that earthiness from the mushrooms, which there wasn't a ton of. I wish there was more cheese as well. So this was a fine ravioli-esque dish, but definitely not as good as persets. Is that your turn? Oh, there's my shark. And Alan's.
And as Molly mentioned, because we did have quite the meal from Palo, I went with the lighter note offering, the blackened chicken salad with oven-roasted corn, romaine leaves, tomatoes, green onions, and a cilantro lime dressing. This was a fine salad. The blackened chicken was okay, and boy, was there a lot of corn. I don't think I would have gotten this salad again a second time. It was fine.
And for my entree, I went with one of the regional inspirations, the chicken schnitzel. This is breaded chicken breast fried in butter, served with roasted bacon, potatoes, and buttered green beans. And this was a delight. The chicken was nice, buttery, and moist, and quite flavorful. I enjoyed the bacon potatoes and the green beans.
We were once again presented with a dessert menu, this time featuring things like a celebration cake, orchard peach tart, and the regional inspiration strawberry and cream cake, which is what I picked up. This featured fresh strawberries and a chantilly cream. It was a nice, light cake, tasted like angel food cake. I personally enjoyed the strawberries, could have used a few more of them, but overall, a perfectly delightful dessert.
For my dessert, I got the chocolate decadence, which the only description said it's for real chocolate lovers, which I am. And it was. This was a log of chocolate cake covered in extra chocolate. And if you, listener, would consider yourself amongst those that love chocolate, this may be for you.
Prove it.
And for my dessert, I picked up the orchard peach tart, which is a warm almond peach tart with rich vanilla sauce and dulce de leche ice cream. The peaches were the highlight of this dish. They were nice and fresh and cooked well baked onto the top of the cake. The cake itself was a little crumbly, more crumbly than I would have liked, but it was saved by the dulce de leche ice cream, which was delicately sweet and not cloyingly so.
Well, that was lovely.
That was really cool. What a fun experience.
And they don't normally do that because you don't normally go to the restaurant twice. Right?
Yeah,
Correct,
that's
yeah.
like the second night experience. So first time for all of us.
Very unique.
Yeah.
Very cool.
And we're all equally good at drawing.
We are.
One of us isn't way better than everyone else.
That's so nice of you, Max. Just about my drawing. About my shark.
You did a
The
great
shark
job.
was lovely.
Thank
Molly
you.
absolutely crushed the shark.
The shark was lovely.
Now, we do have one more day aboard the Wonder. Tomorrow we have another day at sea, but it's also Alan's birthday.
Happy early birthday.
Happy early
Thanks.
birthday to Alan.
Thank
So we are not going to be filming, especially because we've already shown a day at sea. You've seen what the Wonder can be like, so we're going to take a day to just luxuriate and have a good time. But we are going to definitely share with you the end of cruise celebration and the character palooza, so enjoy that right now.
See y'all real soon. Why? Because we love you.
Oh, so many characters.
That was
characters.
wow, my
So many
first
characters.
character palooza.
Right. I'm so glad we got to meet,
Minnie Mouse,
and also,
Goofy,
I really liked.
Pluto.
same.
Yeah.
A great time all around. So, Max, not only your first character palooza, your first cruise, not just with Disney, not just on the Wonder, not just to Alaska, but your literal first cruise.
Yeah.
What did you think?
I really enjoyed this experience. It was really, really cool. I have wanted to come to Alaska for a long time, and I've always heard that doing it on a cruise was the way to do it. And so, man, the excursions, I mean, it. You know what's a real shame is that it is ugly outside.
It's so hideous.
Yeah.
All the views are gross.
Yuck! Ew!
It's so beautiful. It's like a postcard every direction you look at all times.
It's like any photo or video you take, you go, it's not good enough.
It's
like
not.
that will never capture what I'm seeing with my eyeballs.
So stunning.
Yeah. It's been so fun. I've really, really enjoyed getting to do it. I will say this, I think that the draw of this cruise for me was it being a destination.
Yeah.
And so while I've enjoyed my time on the cruise ship, this is a smaller cruise ship,
Yeah.
Yep.
as I've learned, or I knew, but you all have told me more about. And I think that if I wasn't excited about the place I was going and the cool excursions we were doing, I don't know that I would like choose to do a cruise as my first vacation pick again. But I had fun. I'm sure like I would go and I'd be happy about it, but without the like destination I'm excited about with the cool things there that I want to do, I maybe wouldn't prioritize it.
That makes sense.
As someone that has been on several cruises, I think for me, I actually agree with you a lot. The Wonder is wonderful.
Yeah.
Pun not intended, but nicely inserted there. The Wonder is lovely. It's just like the Magic, but I do prefer the larger ships. I specifically prefer the Wish. That's my favorite of the cruise ships, just because to me, the Wish is the draw. All the different themed lounges and the dining and the experiences aboard the Wish versus this cruise is the first one that we've booked so many excursions and different things at the different ports because, like you said, the draw for this cruise is Alaska.
Yeah.
Not as much the Wonder. The Wonder is just a wonderful bonus to going to Alaska.
It's the vessel that gets you from place to place. Quite literally, the destination is the goal.
With Disney service and
Absolutely.
all the touches
Absolutely.
that come with Disney, of course. Yeah.
How did you guys feel about the food on board?
I mean, I think for me at least, Animator's Palette was sort of par of the course. What you get at Animator's Palette is going to be fairly consistent across the majority of the ships that have that restaurant. The standout was Tiana's place.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Tiana's place, by and large, took the cake above all else. And that goes for both nights. Both sort of the standard Tiana's place evening and then Mardi Gras. I save one dish that I had ordered. Like it was far and away the best restaurant here.
But definitely the vibes. Like even
absolutely.
outside of the food itself, I think the food on the ship was fine.
Yeah.
I guess would be my overall read.
I'm gonna let you know, better than most cruise ships.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't have any frame of reference. My read is, I think at one point, Molly, you said, I compare this to sort of your average table service meal at a theme park, and I would agree that it is on par with your average table service meal at a theme park. But the vibes at Tiana's place,
Immaculate.
out of this world.
Yeah. And of course, for your extra cost restaurants like Palo, that's just stellar. The experience there is always premier. I can't say enough good things about that restaurant. I've not had a miss on the menu yet.
I think overall this cruise has been wonderful and so unique as someone who's been very lucky to go on a lot of different cruises in the Florida, Caribbean, Bahamas destinations. I think this one is truly so unique in what it offers, and it's definitely much more expensive than those cruises, and we definitely did pricier excursions, which I don't know that you have to do the Disney excursions, but we were talking about at dinner how nice it was that we just were able to book things and they were all great.
Yeah.
Versus I think if you wanted to not do the excursions but still have kind of that wild Alaska experience, you could do it, but it would require more research.
A lot more planning.
To scope out which companies you wanted to go to, find hikes and things of that nature.
Also, let's be clear. Like, if this is a Disney trusted and vetted service, and they guarantee to get you back to the port on time to make sure that you make your on-time call. So I think both of those factors are huge if you are looking to really just sort of take the stress out of the travel when you are doing this, simply because it can be intimidating if you don't know what you're looking for in terms of those excursions when you get to the different ports of call.
I will say this, though, again, as a new cruiser, but having done this Alaska cruise, I can't imagine a world where we go to these ports and don't do something like that.
Agreed.
So, we spent some more time in Ketchikan today, some amount of time in Skagway, some amount of time in Juneau. And to be honest, like a lot of those downtown areas, because they are ports, feel very similar. It's a lot of gift shops, it's bars, it's eateries.
Lots of jewelry stores.
So many jewelry stores.
And those are great, but like, the draw is seeing the whales and seeing the bears and seeing this unbelievably beautiful part of the country.
Yeah.
And so my advice is whether you do it through a Disney vetted excursion, which may be on the pricier side, or you just find a beautiful hike. There were some around Skagway that were very accessible.
Yeah.
And you go and explore it on your own. Make sure you get out there, get beyond just that port of call city that you're in, and experience the unbelievable wilderness that is around you.
So gorgeous.
This is such a beautiful part of the country.
I think very few places in the world look like this, and very few places are untouched like this, and it is honestly hard to put into words what the beauty of Alaska is like. And I've seen other forests. It's like it's like we said, everything looks like a postcard. Everything is so unbelievably beautiful that the draw of this experience is absolutely Alaska and the country. But one of the best parts we always say about coming on a Disney cruise ship is the crew.
Yeah. The crew members make the magic. They are the pixie dust. We always like to give a shout out to the stellar crew members who helped make our experience wonderful. So that is no different here on the Disney Wonder, and these are the folks who really went above and beyond with us.
First of all, we have Sandy and Sheila. They were our server and assistant server during our rotational dining experience. They were both incredibly lovely, had our had our preferences on lock, and knew them every night after the first night.
Also, Rami at Crown and Fin, where we did lots of trivia and played lots of games. He was just a smiling delight every time we saw him.
Cheryl was our room attendant, greeting us with wonderful towel animals every time we got back every evening. And shout out Cheryl, because we asked her today what her favorite one was, and honorary man fam, it was the bear.
Yeah, she doesn't know it, but she's a member of the Man Fam.
Yeah.
She definitely is.
Kay, who was our server at Azure when we went there every evening, both while we were recording and making the video and when we just wanted to have a place to chill and relax as friends. She anticipated us every evening and often asked where we were if we weren't there on a timely basis. So shout out to you, Kay. Thank you so much for being so welcoming.
And also Sylvester at Palo. He was our server for brunch. He was also our server tonight when we just sat at the bar. Palo, always unbelievable service, and Sylvester was no different, making sure everything from accommodating Alan's allergy to making sure Max got a special non-alcoholic version of the toast drink tonight, just above and beyond service. And so special shout out to all of these crew members who were just wonderful.
And to be clear, these crew members are just a small representation of the incredible cast and crew throughout this ship and every Disney ship where the service standards are just so incredibly high, and they're all so wonderful. So thank you to all of you, because the crew members do make the magic.
Hello, Future Max here. As an added bonus on this cruise, I noticed that there were some interestingly sweetly flavored smoothies available in the lounges. And as I am not one to partake in alcohol, I decided to do us all a favor and subject myself to them. First up was the cotton candy, and if that sounds disgusting to you as a smoothie, it also is in practice. It tastes like you'd expect it to, and I wouldn't recommend it. But if you want to feel like you're in a Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey circus, downing blue and pink sugar cloud, drink this. But as my birthday present to Alan, I tasted maybe the only thing that could be worse than that, the bubblegum one. And this was in fact like... And this was, in fact, like taking chewed double bubble out of somebody else's mouth and putting it in mine.
Well, that is a wrap on our Alaska cruise.
That's wild.
It was wild. It literally was
wild.
We saw a bear, we saw whales, we saw seals.
Eagles,
sea lions, salmons getting eaten by said bears.
That's true. Salmon both jumping and being eaten different times, but lots of salmon.
Lumberjacks. Yeah.
So much jewelry.
So much
and
jewelry.
Just unbelievable views
Everywhere.
everywhere you look.
No part of our videos, as great as the quality is and as much as we've upgraded our equipment, that will never do it justice.
No. But hopefully you had fun following along and seeing a little bit different cruise experience.
But until next time, friends, please be sure to like this video. Subscribe if you are new, follow us on all of our socials. And if you would like to join with the Man Fam in the conversation about this or any of our other videos, please join us on Discord. We would love to have you there. The links for all that are down below.
And until next time, friends, I'm Molly.
I'm Alan.
And I'm Max.
And it has been magical.
It's been wild.
Wild.
Guys, Kay's waiting for us.
Kay is waiting for us. We gotta go to the pianos. We gotta go to Julie Pianos. We gotta go.
Listen, it's been real. Bye.